नमस्कार, एक बार फिर स्वागत है आपका आईपीओ वॉच में। और मैनेजमेंट जुड़ने जा रहा है हमारे साथ में अपडेटर सर्विसेज लिमिटेड का। बात करेंगे उनसे, समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि क्या खास है कंपनी के अंदर में, किस तरीके से काम कर रहे हैं, क्या क्या हाइलाइट्स हैं और निवेशकों के लिए क्या कुछ है। अपडेटर सर्विसेज से उसका मैनेजमेंट हमारे साथ में है। स्वागत है सर शो पे। नमस्कार।
नमस्ते
जी। सबसे पहले सर एक बार इंट्रोड्यूस कर दीजिए अपने आप को, और उसके बाद कंपनी पे भी चलेंगे कि कंपनी की प्रोफाइल समझने की कोशिश करेंगे। जी।
Yeah, my name is Raghunandana Tangirala. I'm the founder promoter of Updater Services.
मेरा नाम बालाजी है, मैं एक ग्रुप का सीएफओ हूँ।
बढ़िया, ठीक है। हमारे साथ में फाउंडर भी हैं और सीएफओ भी हैं, तो बिजनेस का ओरिजिन और बिजनेस का फाइनेंस, नंबर्स, सारी चीजें हम समझ सकेंगे। सबसे पहले सर समझने की कोशिश करूंगा रघु जी से कि क्या है अपडेटर सर्विसेज, क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीजें इसके अंदर में थोड़ी टेक्निकल हैं आम आदमी के लिए, आम निवेशक के लिए। तो रिटेल में जब हम बात करते हैं तो वहाँ लोगों को वो चाहते हैं कि समझना है कि बिजनेस क्या है, व्हाट डू यू डू, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सर्विसेज यू प्रोवाइड एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज दिस कैटेगरी। थोड़ा सा, क्योंकि एक नीश या सुपर नीश में आप काम करते हैं, तो इसलिए दर्शकों की सहूलियत के लिए अगर बता सकें कि क्या क्या चीजें, कंपनी कब से शुरू हुई थी, क्या क्या चीजें कर रहे हैं और आगे का क्या है।
Sure. I'll give you a brief in a very layman's language. Updater Services integrated facilities management services business. When we say integrated facilities management, we mean that any facility, it could be a IT park, it could be a airport, it could be a metro, it could be a hospital. We maintain and manage the entire facility. That could be the soft services, the engineering services, the support services, including fire system, air conditioning, cleaning, power backup, everything we manage and we run the facility. This is in a nutshell what facilities management is. And when we integrate all this, we call this as IFM, Integrated Facilities Management. So that's a core business. And Updater Services. Updater Services also does a lot of other business support services like audit and assurance of stock, audit and assurance of supply chain. They do sales enablement where they generate leads for B2B, and we also do food services for industrial catering and institutional catering. We also have smaller other businesses which are all adjacent, which all again go into facilities management one way or the other. So as a group, we employ about 65,000 people, all on a full-time employee. And as a group, we do about, last year, we clocked about 2,200 crores of revenue. So this is what we have filed in our audit. So this briefly what we are today, where we are present across the country.
And also, when you say we are into BSS as well, so what all things come under BSS? Any of those things that you have already mentioned, or other few things that can be added to this?
I mentioned the sales enablement piece, where it is a B2B sales element, where we generate sales lead. It could be telecalling, it could be feet on street, where we do for generate sales leads. We also do B2B2C for banking industry, where the customers of the bank, again sales. Then we have supply chain audit under matrix. We call it audit and assurance. It could be stock, it could be retail hygiene, it could be all that in the supply chain. We do employee background verification, which is typically KYC and education. We do 7 checks: education, background, previous employment, address proofs.
Due diligence and all those kinds of things.
Due diligence. We also have the airport ground handling in 21 airports, where we do the complete. We have a 10-year concessions with these airports. We do the airport ground handling services. This is the business support services.
Perfect. So what I understand, and coming to CFO sir, these things, as in the services that you are providing, or it's a huge portfolio. तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, बहुत सारे सर्विसेज हैं जिसको कि आप प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, और ये मोस्टली छोटी छोटी कंपनीज, छोटी छोटी एजेंसीज कर रही होती हैं, which I understand now that you have kind of compiled it all and doing it in with an end-to-end solutions and doing it 360 degree, that kind of provider you are. So can you give me an idea on the scale, on the numbers, how big is this company, how much are you raising, and those numbers if you can share with us?
Sure. So, look, from a top line perspective, we have done about 1,500 crores in 2022 and about 2,100 crores in 2023. And the adjusted EBITDA is about 108 crores last year compared to 145 crores that we have done in FY23. And coming on to the split between the IFM and the BSS in FY23, so about 72% of the revenues come in from IFM and 28 comes in from BSS. And similarly, अगर आप profit भी देखोगे, so profit would be about 30% would come in from the BSS and about 70% comes in from the IFM. Okay. And coming on to the size of the issue, so we are raising a 400 crore primary into the company, and about 80 lakh shares is the OFS that is being offered, and which will translate into about 240 crores at the price band of 300 rupees. 280 to 300 is the band, right? And out of 400 crores, we are going to retire debt, which will be 133 crores, and we will be using 115 crores, which will be for the future working capital augmentation, and 80 crores for the blind pool for the acquisitions, and the balance 72 would be for the general corporate purposes.
Wonderful. So this allocation you have shared. Can you also talk about some bit of the footprints, as in where all do you have offices, branches, or your facilities, and those things? What kind of the number of the manpower or the people employed on this, and also please talk about a bit about your clientele. What kind of clientele you have? What kind of brands or companies you work with, and also geographically, if you can get an idea on that.
Sure. You want me to take that? Yeah. We are present across the country, everywhere. In fact, we have 4,000 locations where we can deliver our services. We will have roughly about 40 odd branches, but we can deliver in 4,000 locations. So that's the reach. That's why we are pan India. That's why we sign national accounts. So we have customers like Singhvi Glass, Singhvi Glass. We have Hyundai. We have customers like Infosys. We do across India. We do Microsoft. We do PNG. We got marquee accounts. Probably the top Fortune 500 accounts will have half of them. So that's the customer base.
And again, from a client retention as well, just to add, more than 5 years if you are looking at, so we would have a retention rate of about 95%.
Okay, so that's great, and that's huge number. 4,000 is big. I don't know even if there are so many places where people need those.
No. When I say 4,000, it could be tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Like for example, like a banking. Suppose we let's say we sign a contract with SBI. SBI has got 22,000 branches across India. So that's how 4,000 came. Just to tell you the reach. Technically, it's not 4,000. It could be 30, 40. But why I told you 4,000 is I told you for banking industry, insurance industry, they are present in 4,000, 5,000 locations. So we need to service them.
And what about the international kind of, do we do these services, provide these services to foreign, different nations, what companies, countries, or that kind of
in the facilities management, we don't do, but in the BSS, we do. Matrix does transactions and claims for Procter & Gamble and companies like that across Asia Pacific. Denev, the other sales enablement company, does in Malaysia, Singapore, UK, Korea, and now even China.
Okay, so and Seifo sir, we just talked that you said that some big share of this money that you'll be raising will go in clearing the debts. So do we say that once this is done, you will be a debt-free company completely?
Look, even now we are a debt-free company at a group level. From a net debt perspective, as at March, it's only about 12 crores is the net debt that we have. Here we have cash that is sitting in at the subsidiaries because each of the subsidiaries are self-sustained, right? And at the UDS level, we have this debt of about 170 plus crores as at 31st March, out of which 133 will be retired, and the balance would be a rolling kind of a working capital debt that would continue to be there. Yes, go forward, the interest cost in the current year, we had about 14 crores of interest cost in FY23. So that would go down substantially.
Perfect. So when you say that this rest of the money will go in work X and all those things, will that be deployed in some bit of R&D or experimenting with new experiments, adding new things to your portfolio? Because your portfolio is big and the sector the kind of services that you are providing there, that is so dynamic, that is so constantly changing, and every day new things come in and you have to add those things. So should we assume that this some of this money will go in that as well, expansion in those terms?
Yeah, it would be a combination of both. So the 115 crores that I've spoke about is more from the working capital augmentation that we need to do for the growth of the business, and similarly for certain technical developments like the software that we are developing for the IFM. So similarly, we would also make investments into R&D, like in sales enablement. We are doing some kind of investment into the future products. So now things are moving more into digital, right? So those are the investments that are also will be part of this.
Perfect. And just to conclude, as in how old is this company and where do we see this in the near future, becoming one of the biggest?
This company was founded by me in 1987, so you can see more than 35 years, and we hope to do that another 35 years at least.
Sure. Not talking about the years in future, but I'm saying, should we see this in what kind of comparison on going to New York Exchange as well sometime soon, NASDAQ?
Very, very, very sure we should, but I shouldn't be talking on future because of the constraints we have now. But definitely we can do after listing.
Sure, and best wishes for that, and we hope that Indian markets and Indian investors welcome you with open heart, open hands, and
thank you.
We hope that you'll get some good response, and soon you'll be taking this to next level, and you are those building blocks of India for the new India. So thank you so much for joining us, giving us time, and sharing.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
तो दिस वाज IPO वॉच, जहाँ पे हम बात कर रहे थे एक नई कंपनी, एक खास कंपनी, नई कंपनी नहीं है, कंपनी 35 साल पुरानी है, लेकिन बाजार में आ रही है नई, यूडीएस के नाम से शॉर्ट फॉर्म में, अपडेटर सर्विसेज लिमिटेड। मैनेजमेंट ने बताया किस तरीके से बहुत सारी चीजें वो कर रहे हैं, क्या इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें और किस तरीके के एक्सपेंशन प्लान्स हैं। तो जुड़े रहिए इंडिया न्यूज़ बिजनेस के साथ में, इस तरीके की जानकारी, इस तरीके की खबरें लेकर के आते रहेंगे आपके लिए समय समय पर। धन्यवाद।